Captain Mira Lawson wasn't supposed to be here. Deva's moon was marked as sacred, off-limits even to diplomats. But when her ship intercepted a distress signal in ancient Earth code, Enclave 31, Curiosity won. The moon turned slowly below her, pale and cracked like old bone. The signal pulsed once every 17 seconds. Faint, buried, human. AI, scan for life signs, Mira ordered as the Cerex entered low orbit. Negative. No confirmed biosigns. Signal originates from subsurface structure. She exhaled slowly. Her fingers tapped the flame insignia on her chest, symbol of Earth's lost Flamewalker core, a legacy no one remembered, or wanted to. The descent was rough. Dava's atmosphere fought her, screaming across the hull. She landed hard among black stone ruins half swallowed by dust. As she stepped out, a low hum vibrated through her boots. The ruins whispered of something ancient, something watching. She moved carefully between towering monoliths and cracked statues, scanning the glyphs etched into the stone. Not Zorkai, not human, something older. Movement. A figure ducked behind a fallen column. Mira followed. She found the chamber by instinct more than direction. It opened like a wound in the ground, walls glowing faint blue, pulsing with the same rhythm as the signal. And there, standing in the center, was her. The alien woman turned, tall and rigid, armored in curved plates of living bone. Her skin was a muted violet, eyes shining silver. Her mouth opened, then froze. She stared at Mira's chest, at the flame. Her voice cracked, as if dragged from centuries of silence. That mark. It cannot be. She stepped forward, trembling. One hand reached out, hesitant. Mira didn't move. You wear the flame, but you're kind. You were erased. I got it from my grandmother, Mira said. She said it belonged to someone who saved a city, then disappeared. The alien's breath caught. Your people walked the stars with fire in their veins. They shattered empires. Then they vanished. She stepped back now, shaking her head. Impossible. Your kind exists only in legends. Outside, something howled across the dust. The woman turned sharply. We must leave, if the old ones sense you've returned. Old ones? They feared your kind. They made sure no human ever set foot here again. Mira looked around. The walls now glowed brighter, like they recognized her. Something deep in her bones responded. Ancient, unspoken. Maybe she shouldn't be here. But maybe this was exactly where she was meant to be. The walls pulsed with warmth now, as if the ancient stone recognized her. Captain Mira Lawson followed the alien woman through a narrow passage lit by shifting blue veins in the rock. She moved fast, yet her steps were silent. Mira could hear only her own boots crunching across the dusty floor. They call me Alari, the woman finally said without turning. I am of the Velen, and you are the impossible. I get that a lot, Mira muttered. They passed carvings that looked far older than anything Mira had seen in Zorkai space. Some showed flame-like figures with outstretched hands. Others showed them standing between stars, battling shadows larger than worlds. You still haven't explained, Mira said, narrowing her eyes. Why does a forgotten symbol from Earth scare half the galaxy? Alari stopped. They had entered a chamber. At its center, a stone platform floated silently above the ground, glowing with the same pulse as the signal. Alari gestured. Because your kind burned brighter than any of us. She stepped onto the platform. It lit up instantly. In our oldest histories, your species came from nothing, fragile, loud, reckless. But you learned, you adapted. And when the galaxy turned against you, you didn't kneel, you burned. Mira remained still. I thought Earth made contact with the Zorkai barely 2 centuries ago. Alari looked at her then, really looked. The Zorkai kept their empire through fear, but it was not always theirs. Long before they rose, the Flamewalkers challenged the first empires. You shattered the unseen. You ended the Silence Wars. My people, we remember. We hid what we remembered. Mira's voice dropped. Then why hasn't anyone else heard of us? Because your flame scared the gods, Alari whispered. And when you disappeared, they buried your memory. She knelt by the platform and touched a crystal node. The chamber changed. Walls shimmered and bent, forming images of great human ships breaking through blockades, soldiers with glowing armor holding lines against impossible odds, diplomats walking into enemy halls and emerging with peace in hand. And then, silence, darkness, as if the flame had simply gone out. My grandmother fought in the Zorkai frontier wars, Mira said quietly. She wore the flame, but she never talked about it, just said it was all gone. She was one of the last. The Zorkai crushed what remained, but not all of us forgot. Alari stood. Suddenly, the ground trembled. Stay back, she snapped, drawing her blade. They followed the signal. A shriek pierced the chamber, metal scraping stone, raw and ancient. Mira raised her rifle, stepping toward the doorway. Shapes moved in the shadows. Not humanoid. Long-limbed chitinous things, eyes glowing with dim green fire. They were the Zorkai's first weapon, Alari growled. Now they serve no master but hunger. Perfect, Mira muttered. A beast lunged. Mira shot first. The impact threw it back, but more followed. Alari leapt into the fray, blade flashing, cutting through armor and bone. Mira fought beside her, the fire in her chest rising, not just adrenaline. Something older, something answering. When the last beast fell, Alari turned, her breath ragged. You fought like the stories, she said. Mira looked down at her armor. The flame insignia shimmered faintly, as if alive again. I didn't come here to start a war, Mira said. You came because something called you, Alari replied. The flame remembers. And now, so will the galaxy. So will the chamber reeked of scorched bone and ozone. The creatures lay motionless, their black blood seeping into ancient stone. Mira stood over one, rifle lowered, but ready. Her pulse still pounded, not from fear, but from something deeper, something awakening. Alari cleaned her blade in silence. This wasn't a random attack, Mira said, scanning the doorway. They waited. They knew I'd come. Alari nodded grimly. The moment the flame returned, the old oaths broke. Oaths? The Valen woman turned toward her, eyes shadowed by memory. Long ago, the empires of this galaxy struck a pact, spoken in fear, not peace. When the last Flamewalkers vanished, they swore never to speak your name again, never to seek your kind, and in return, the galaxy would remain quiet. Mira frowned. They erased us to keep the peace? They erased you to keep their control, Alari corrected. Your kind was unpredictable, dangerous. Not because of strength, because you never stopped fighting. Mira looked at her hands. So why did we disappear? Alari hesitated. Then, because we let you. Mira froze. Our ancestors, Valen elders, were there. When the last Earth fleet fell, we had a choice. Intervene or watch. We chose silence. Mira's stomach twisted. Why are you telling me this? Because I carry the guilt of my blood, and because you deserve truth. A long pause. Alari continued, voice low. The last Flamekeeper died on this moon. She lit the beacon with her final breath. It's been burning for 2 centuries, waiting. Mira stepped back, her jaw tight. So this wasn't random. I was meant to find it. Yes, Alari said, "and now others know it's been found." Outside, thunder rolled, not natural, but metallic. A ship. Mira ran to the edge of the ruin and looked up. A dark shape descended from orbit, sleek, dagger-shaped, humming with power. Not Zorkai, not Velen, something older. "Who are they?" she asked. Alari's voice dropped. "The Scourged Crown. They were the first to sign the oath. They are its keepers and executioners." The ship landed hard. Troops spilled out, tall, faceless, armored in obsidian. At their center stood a figure cloaked in shifting black robes. It spoke with no mouth. "Return the flame, or be extinguished." Mira raised her rifle. "Sorry, not the giving up type." Before they could fire, the platform behind her glowed bright. Lines of orange light erupted through the ground, climbing the ruins, racing toward Mira's feet. The flame ignited. Not fire, but something older. An energy that lifted her from the ground, wrapped her in heat and memory. Her armor shifted, reshaping around her. The flame insignia burned golden across her chest. Alari fell to one knee. "It has chosen!" Mira stepped forward, radiant. "Tell your masters," she said, voice echoing. "The flame has returned." The Scourged Crown opened fire. The first volley hit like thunder. Mira didn't flinch. The energy that wrapped around her wasn't just light. It was memory. Generations of warriors, engineers, colonists, flame keepers. 1,000 voices echoed inside her, not shouting, but guiding. She raised her hand. The incoming plasma rounds halted mid-air, shivering in place like frightened birds, then flared outward in a blast of white heat. The obsidian-armored soldiers staggered. Some fell. The rest hesitated. They hadn't expected resistance. Alari stared from behind the stone archway. Her lips parted in awe. "She's awakened the vault." Mira's boots touched ground again. "What's the vault?" she asked, calmly reloading her rifle. "This entire moon," Alari whispered. "It's not a ruin. It's a weapon, built by the last humans, hidden beneath stone and myth." The ground rumbled. Deep within the planet, something stirred, something ancient and angry. The figure in the black robe stepped forward. "Flamewalker," it said, voice like oil over fire. "You were meant to stay dead." Mira smirked. "Yeah, we're bad at that." She sprinted into the chaos. Blasts tore around her, but the vault answered with her. Pillars of stone unfolded into towering turrets. Ancient drones rose from beneath the sand, their lights flickering back to life after centuries of silence. Mira didn't fight like a soldier. She fought like someone called. Every move felt known, practiced by the bones of her bloodline. When the last of the crown soldiers fell, only the robed figure remained. It raised a hand. "We will bury you again." Mira stepped closer, flame glowing in her palms. "Then I'll dig us out. Again, and again." She unleashed it, raw light, pure and searing. It struck the figure and ripped the robe away. What stood beneath was not flesh. It was machine, gleaming, jagged, ancient beyond reason. Its body was carved in forgotten languages. Its face was human-shaped, but hollow. "Your kind made me," it said. "Your defiance forged monsters." Mira hesitated. "Then maybe it's time we finish what we started." She reached for the flame again. This time, it answered fully. A golden pulse erupted across the moon. The sky cracked open with color. The vault's true form awakened, an orb of energy so vast it swallowed the horizon. The machine screamed, but not from pain, from recognition. And then it was gone, disintegrated, burned clean. Silence returned. Mira collapsed to her knees, the light fading from her chest. Alari rushed to her side. "It's done," she whispered. Mira looked at the stars above. "No," she said. "It's just beginning." Epilogue weeks later, the flame symbol reappeared. On walls, on flags, in whispered transmissions. Across fractured systems, scattered humans stood taller. Some remembered stories told to them as children. Some had never heard of flame walkers, but still felt the call. The galaxy watched. Hope was no longer a memory. It had a name again.